Does the way an NFT looks matter? The answer is yes, but not in the way you might think. Often we'll see an NFT that might look like it was created by a talented artist and another that looks like it was created by a sixth grader. And the funny part is that the one by the sixth grader may be more than the one that was created by what looks like to be a talented artist. And it does not have to do with it looking good or bad, but instead it has more to do with whether within that project the NFTs look different. You want a project where NFTs look different because this creates different tiers, different levels, and different categories. And what I'm about to tell you right now is something you may not have heard before. You actually want to be in an NFT project that has ugly NFTs. Well, ugly is not really the word, but what you do want are NFTs in a project that are much less desirable than the most rare NFTs in the project, and they look different. It is very easy to distinguish them because when you have these levels, you can justify paying different prices for different NFTs. And when you have an NFT that's rare within a project that looks very different from the floor price NFT, people will pay big money for the upper tier NFTs, and this carries over into the floor NFTs as well. If you have an NFT at the floor that's 1 Ethereum, and then the most rare NFT in that project is 50 Ethereum, but they look almost the same, it's very hard to justify paying that premium. And when you have NFTs that all look the same, you get what's known as a thick floor price, meaning that everything is listed at the same price. You have 20 NFTs at the floor, they're all listed at 1 Ethereum, 1 Ethereum, 1 Ethereum, and so on. But instead, when you have these different levels, these different categories, the less desirable ones, the medium desire, and then the ones that are the most desired, the most rare, and you have these levels, you create different floors, and you end up getting a thin price floor, meaning at the bottom, not everything is the same. You might have one listed for 1 Ethereum, the next one 1.2, the next one 1.8, the next one 2.2, and so on. So if we look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, these are NFTs that have different levels and they look different. So if we look at the floor, we see 37.4, then 37.49, 37.95, and then we jump up all the way to 38. We have a few listed at 38 range, 38.5, and it keeps jumping up. And this is because there's different levels and different categories. And typically, if you have projects that look different, you get different floors. This is good for everyone in the project, including the less desirable ones at the floor. Of course, there are exceptions. Another exception is when we're dealing with NFTs that are based primarily on utility, not on the way they look, but on what they give you. You might have an NFT that gives you certain benefits in the metaverse, or an NFT that helps you win and play a game, or an NFT that gives you sort of a token or a passive income. So people are paying not necessarily for the way it looks, but for the utility that it brings. For example, if we look at Zed Run, these are horses that you can race in a game and win money. So this is more based on its utility rather than the way it looks. So if we look at the floor price for these NFTs, this is a simple horse, it's green. Now let's go ahead and look at the most expensive one, or the highest last sale. This one, it looks exactly the same, just a different color. And this is more based on utility rather than the way it looks, but I think it's very harmless for a project to make just small differences. They could have simply made the background for this horse a different color just to make it look different. So with these projects, it doesn't really translate from the highest sale to the floor price because this is based primarily on utility. This horse has better features. It will help you win more races than this NFT at the bottom. But this might not be the best example because there are 127,000 items, so it's very diluted. I think a better example is this project over here, Greycraft. These are crafts that will be used in the metaverse. So when you're getting into these utility-based tokens that are not based so much on the way it looks, but on what it actually brings you in a metaverse or in a game, you are betting on people actually participating in that metaverse or participating in that game. And when we look at this project right now, currently, it looks very similar, right? This is the floor price for these Greycraft NFTs. And then this is the most expensive one sold, right? Looks very similar, same color, gray background, just a different color of the aircraft, but it doesn't have any different shape really. It looks so similar. And what I said earlier before is that when things look so similar, you end up getting a very thick floor price because it's very hard justifying paying more for an NFT that looks just like the floor. Look at this. These NFTs over here are listed at 0.03, 0.03, 0.03, 0.03, 0.03. I'm not talking even about 0.031, then 0.032. The exact same price, and we have it over here again. 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, 0.035, and they're all at the same price, right? A thick floor, because it's very hard to justify paying more for something that looks exactly like everything else. So ugly NFTs are good within a project. And yesterday, or last night actually, I came across a very interesting NFT project called Eponyms. And this is a project that I tweeted about last night. And by the way, you need to be on Twitter if you want to be on the NFT game, because information moves a lot faster. I found out about this late last night. I don't have time to go ahead and set up a video, record it, edit it, create a thumbnail, and upload it. By that time, it's too late. So I tweeted about these NFTs last night. And what I found so interesting about this project is that this is a mix between a community project and also one-of-one art. When we speak about one-of-one NFT art, everything we spoke about in this video doesn't really apply to it. Each of those NFTs is evaluated on its own. An artist creates 5 pieces or 10 pieces. Each one is on its own, rather than more of a community where you have different levels or different tiers. So this was an NFT mint where you go to the website, you type in any word, and then it generates art. So you had a ton of people doing this, creating a community, but they all ended up with NFTs that look a lot different. So this is different than what I was just speaking about earlier in this video. These NFTs don't really look like they're even part of the same family, and they just look a bit different. These look completely different, like they're from different artists or different projects. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out. It's a community project, but at the same time, it's one-of-one art. And not only are there different levels or tiers, it almost seems like these are from completely separate projects. So go ahead, follow my Twitter. Actually, go ahead, just follow everyone on Twitter for NFT information. So this was a 0.08 mint. Right now, the floor price is 0.14. And I bought 3 of these NFTs because what I mentioned in a previous video is that I always try to buy at mint at least 2, but ideally, if possible, I like to get at least 3 NFTs at mint, and there is a reason why. And if you want to know the reason why, go ahead and watch this video, link right above and in the description down below. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.